me talk about Syria first and then come to the second part of the first part of the question. Second, first, to put this in focus, these initial 9 months of the administration, we have been focused on a few things when it comes to Syria. Expanding humanitarian access for people who desperately need that assistance. And we had some success, as you know, with renewing the critical corridor in northwestern Syria to do that. Sustaining the campaign that we have with the coalition against ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Syria. Making clear our commitment, our ongoing commitment to demand accountability from the Assad regime and the preservation of basic international norms, like promoting human rights and non-proliferation through the imposition of targeted sanctions, and sustaining local ceasefires which are in place in different parts of the country. So this has been the focus of our action for these last 9 months. As we're moving forward in the time ahead, keeping violence down, increasing humanitarian assistance, and focusing our military efforts on any terrorist groups that pose a threat to us or to our partners, with the intent and capacity to do that. These are going to be the critical areas of focus for us, and they're also, I think, important to advancing a broader political settlement to the Syrian conflict consistent with UN Security Council Resolution 2254. What we have not done, and what we do not intend to do, is to express any support for efforts to normalize relations or rehabilitate Mr. Assad or lifted a single sanction on Syria, or changed our position to oppose the reconstruction of Syria until there is irreversible progress toward a political solution, which we believe is necessary and vital. The question of incentives. I think for others who might join in the normalization effort, I think the incentives are being demonstrated every single day by the UAE and Israel. And the incentives are simply this. These efforts and the normalization is profoundly in the interests of the people in the countries in question, and is providing all sorts of new opportunities, as evidenced by the extraordinary jump in tourism, the business relationships that are being built every single day, the work that our countries are doing together increasingly in a wide variety of areas. Those are very powerful incentives, because it simply means that people will have a better life, more opportunity, more security, more prosperity. So I think going forward, it's exactly what Sheikh Abdullah said. The proof is in what has already been created, and I think as more and more people see that, understand it, become aware of it, they will want to do the same thing. And I just conclude by saying, I think I mentioned this before, one of the most powerful things is this. Abraham in the Bible was known for having the temerity to argue with God, to ask why, or maybe even more appropriately, why not? Israel, the United Arab Emirates, they asked, why not? And now they are demonstrating every single day why it is so important that countries come together and work together and join together and create more opportunity for their peoples. So this is a very powerful answer, and I suspect that more and more countries in the region and beyond will see that in the months and years ahead. Thank you.
That concludes the press conference. We invite our delegations to remain seated as the press leaves the room.